these Epstein-like characters have existed throughout history. Everybody is a supplier. Epstein, Weinstein, like these guys knew what these extremists liked.
In the footage, Trump is seen talking to Epstein and another man as women are dancing in front of them. Trump alternates between dancing and pointing out women to Epstein and the other man and telling Epstein about the cameras.
This case involving the U.S. Virgin Islands and J.P. Morgan as it related to Epstein. And that case got settled out of court, so it didn't go to trial. But I believe those documents would be very, very, very telling. But I would argue the reason they won't come out is because one of the people subpoenaed as part of that investigation was Elon Musk.
Katt Williams had the most honest take on this entire circus when he said these Epstein-like characters have existed throughout history, and they exist because powerful people let them exist. Williams pointed out that Epstein didn't just end up around these billionaires by accident. He was put there, and his whole job was to get close to powerful people, collect dirt, and create leverage. Whether it's Trump, Musk, or anyone else in those circles, they all knew what Epstein was about, and they all let him in the room because it served their interests. The richest man on earth just accused the president of hiding in Jeffrey Epstein's files, and honestly, the timing couldn't be more suspicious. While everyone's picking sides in this billionaire brawl, the real story is way darker than either of them wants you to know. What started as a simple disagreement over government spending just exposed a web of connections that goes deeper than anyone's talking about. So, Elon Musk and Donald Trump are officially at war, and it's getting messy fast. The whole thing kicked off when Musk went nuclear on social media about a government spending bill, calling it a disgusting abomination, and claiming it would destroy all the cost-saving work from his Department of Government Efficiency. Trump fired back, basically saying Elon was throwing a tantrum because his electric vehicle contracts got cut. But here's where it gets interesting. Instead of just arguing about money, Musk decided to drop what he called his really big bomb. Musk straight up posted that Trump is in the Epstein files, and that's the real reason those documents haven't been made public. He even shared that old 1992 video of Trump and Epstein at a Mar-a-Lago party, where you can see them laughing and pointing at women together. The post got massive attention before Musk mysteriously deleted it. But screenshots live forever. Trump's team called it an unfortunate episode, while trying to downplay the whole thing, but the damage was already done. Now here's what makes this whole situation absolutely wild. Musk acting like he's exposing some shocking truth about Trump's Epstein connections when he's got his own serious questions to answer.
And this is the only reason that we can talk about these big Illuminati-like entities at this period of time. It's just because of time. Like, they aged out. Like, you can't get in new, so everybody got decrepit over there. And
Back in 2023, the U.S. Virgin Islands government tried to subpoena Musk as part of their lawsuit against J.P. Morgan Chase over Epstein's trafficking operations. They couldn't even find him to serve the papers properly, which is pretty convenient if you ask me. The government wanted all records of communication between Musk, Epstein, and the bank because they suspected Epstein may have referred Musk as a client to J.P. Morgan. But wait, there's more. Business Insider reported that Epstein allegedly tried to get closer to the Musk family by setting up Elon's brother Kimball with a girlfriend who had previously dated Epstein and lived in a building where he housed young models. There's also that infamous photo of Elon with Ghislaine Maxwell. Plus, he attended the same billionaire dinner as Epstein in 2011. And let's not forget about the reports suggesting Epstein was advising Tesla on going private with Saudi money back in 2018.
Elon knew the inner workings of this bill better than almost anybody sitting here, better than you people. He knew everything about it. He had no problem with it. All of a sudden he had a problem, and he only developed the problem when he found out that we're going to have to cut the EV mandate, because that's billions and billions of dollars, and it really is unfair. We want to have cars of all types. Electric, we want to have electric, but we want to have a gasoline combustion. We want to have different. We want to have hybrids. We want to have we want to be able to sell everything. And when that was cut, and Congress wanted to cut it, he became a little bit different. And he never had a problem until right after he left. And if you saw the statements he made about me, which I'm sure you can get very easily, it's very fresh on tape. He said the most beautiful things about it.
Right when Epstein was reportedly advising Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. The pattern here is crystal clear. And it's not just about Musk and Trump. This is about how elite circles operate and how people like Epstein don't just stumble into these relationships. They're strategically placed there. Whether it's tech billionaires, politicians, or anyone else with serious power and money, Epstein had a way of inserting himself into their world through business deals, social connections, and strategic partnerships. The guy was like a spider building a web, and once you were caught in it, he had leverage. What's really telling is the timing of this whole feud. Trump and Musk were best buddies during the election campaign, with Musk spending millions to help get Trump elected. But the moment their business interests don't align anymore, suddenly Musk remembers that Trump has Epstein connections? Come on. If these ties were so concerning, why didn't Musk bring them up before he helped Trump win the presidency? The answer is simple. This isn't about moral outrage, it's about money and power. And when billionaires fall out, they start throwing their dirtiest ammunition at each other. Katt Williams had the most honest take on this entire circus when he said these Epstein-like characters have existed throughout history, and they exist because powerful people let them exist. Williams pointed out that Epstein didn't just end up around these billionaires by accident. He was put there, and his whole job was to get close to powerful people, collect dirt, and create leverage. Whether it's Trump, Musk, or anyone else in those circles, they all knew what Epstein was about, and they all let him in the room because it served their interests. The comedian also made another fascinating point about why we can even talk about these Illuminati-like entities now. It's because they aged out and got decrepit, so they can't control the narrative like they used to. For decades, these secret societies and elite networks operated in complete darkness, but now we're seeing cracks in their system.
Of a Mar-a-Lago party shows Trump giving Epstein his personal attention. The footage, shot in November of 1992, before Trump opened the resort as a club, shows the future president surrounded by cheerleaders for the Buffalo Bills and Miami Dolphins, capturing Trump's fun-loving bachelor lifestyle for an appearance on Faith Daniels' NBC talk show.
We're going to get great ratings in your show.
Trump is surrounded by women as music blares in the background. After a while, Trump goes to greet 3 new guests, among them the financier Jeffrey Epstein.
Come on in. Go inside.
More than a decade before his guilty plea on state prostitution charges. Later in the footage, Trump is seen talking to Epstein and another man as women are dancing in front of them. Trump alternates between dancing and pointing out women to Epstein and the other man and telling Epstein about the cameras. Though exactly what they say is difficult to understand as they discuss the women and their appearances, Trump gestures to one and appears to say to Epstein, "Look at her back there. She's hot." And then Trump says something else into Epstein's ear that makes him double over with laughter.
The old guard is losing power. New players are fighting for control. And in the chaos, secrets are spilling out. Here's the uncomfortable truth nobody wants to discuss. Musk versus Trump drama is exactly the kind of distraction that keeps us from asking the bigger questions. Who was really backing Epstein? How did he get access to so many powerful people? What other networks like this are still operating? While we're busy debating whether Musk or Trump is more hypocritical, the real power brokers are probably laughing at how easily we got sidetracked by this billionaire soap opera. The Epstein case should have exposed an entire system, but instead it got reduced to individual scandals and conspiracy theories. Every time someone tries to dig deeper into the institutional connections, it gets dismissed as fringe thinking or gets buried under celebrity gossip. It's almost like the system is designed to protect itself by making sure we focus on personalities instead of structures, on individual guilt instead of systemic corruption. Think about it. Epstein had connections to politicians, tech executives, Hollywood figures, academics, and financial institutions. He had properties, private jets, and enough money to operate internationally. You don't build that kind of network without serious institutional backing, and you don't maintain it without powerful people protecting you. Yet somehow, the conversation always gets reduced to,
oh, wow.
He wasn't necessarily accused of wrongdoing, but was subpoenaed because he was suspected of having had some sort of involvement with Epstein and JP Morgan. And there are allegations, of course, not really allegations, but, it was reported, before Musk was closely affiliated with Trump, that Epstein had been advising Tesla and was part of this effort in 2018 to take Tesla private with Gulf oil money or Saudi money. And at the time, Epstein was advising Mohammed bin Salman, the crown prince of Saudi Arabia, and was also known to have a close relationship with the elite families of the United Arab Emirates, and also Kuwait, and I think Bahrain as well. So perhaps they don't want to have that really be explored at this point.
who was on the island, instead of who was funding the operation. The most disturbing part is how normalized these connections have become. We've got photos of all these powerful people with Epstein and Maxwell. We've got flight logs and business relationships. We've got court documents and testimonies, but somehow it all gets treated like ancient history or coincidence. The same people who are connected to Epstein are still running major companies, still holding political office, still controlling media narratives. Nothing really changed, except that one guy died in prison and his associate got a few years in jail. Meanwhile, Musk and Trump are playing this public theater where they pretend to expose each other's Epstein connections while carefully avoiding any real investigation into how these networks actually operate. Neither of them is going to seriously push for full transparency on the Epstein files because they both know what's in there would implicate way more people than just their political enemies. This is controlled opposition at its finest. Create enough noise to make people think something's being exposed, while making sure the real secrets stay buried. The saddest part is how effective this strategy is. People are so invested in picking sides between Musk and Trump that they're missing the bigger picture entirely. Social media is full of people defending their favorite billionaire while attacking the other, as if either of these guys actually cares about exposing elite corruption rather than protecting their own interests. It's like watching people argue about which mafia boss is more honest, while ignoring the fact that they're both part of the same criminal organization. What we're witnessing isn't a battle between good and evil. It's a power struggle between different factions of the same elite class. When their interests align, they work together. When their interests conflict, they try to destroy each other using whatever ammunition they have available. The Epstein connections are just one weapon in their arsenal, and they'll use it whenever it's convenient while making sure it never leads to real accountability for anyone in their circle. So while everyone's distracted by this billionaire drama, ask yourself what's not being discussed. What investigations are getting less attention? What policies are being passed while we're focused on social media feuds? What other powerful networks are operating in the shadows while we're debating decades-old party videos? The real story isn't about Musk versus Trump. It's about a system that's designed to protect itself by creating exactly these kinds of distractions whenever the public gets too close to the truth.
One world people exist because it's a very powerful concept to have and far too lucrative and beneficial to not be attempted.
Yeah, I mean, if I was going to run some global power organization, I would try to co-opt every single leader, try to suck them in, offer support, bring them out to wherever the fuck I have my big-ass meetings, fly everybody in private jets, talk about the climate crisis.
All organizations have to follow the same rules.
Yeah, that's wild.
Recruitment is an important facet of all.
We have to get some young global leaders.
Well, understand, this is the only reason that we can talk about these big Illuminati-like entities at this period of time. It's just because of time. Like, they aged out. Like, you can't get in new. So everybody got decrepit over there, and they can't exchange really through this period of history. And so that's how we ended up with the Bob Lazars and everything. Throughout history, you could really, it was much easier to get people to not tell nobody.
Right.
As part of your job. You know what I mean?
Imagine going to a World Economic Forum party. What did those freaks do when all the listening devices have been scanned out of the room? All their phones been put into bags and locked away in a lead vault? What do those freaks do? Because you know it's not normal shit. You know everybody's buttoned down like that and wants to control the world. There's something involved that's outlandish that they keep a secret. That's always been the case with secret societies. I mean, that's the whole eyes wide shut thing. That there's some freak shit going on behind the scenes to anybody that really wants to control everything. You don't just want to control everything. You want to control everything so you can get away with some freak shit too.